G'day guys, Seeney here and welcome to another episode on the Australian Wealth channel. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about how I'm going to get to becoming a millionaire by 31. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps to get these videos out to more people. Forgive the crazy hair. I've been trying to get a haircut. Gladys, please, I need to get a haircut. It's very important.
Do not leave your home.
But Gladys, I need a haircut.
Do not leave your home.
Okay, right. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to be talking about my plan to get to $1 million net worth by the time I'm 31. So I recently just had my birthday. I turned 30 on the 12th of August. So it's been very recent. And at the moment, I have a net worth of roughly $825,000. Of course, you know, this changes day to day depending on the price of stocks. You know, it could be up 10,000, could be down 10,000, who knows? But at the moment, it's roughly that $825,000. So what I need to do to get to $1 million net worth is add another $175,000 to my net worth. So how is it that I'm going to do that? You know, that's a lot of money to make in a year, but of course it is definitely possible. So we're going to delve into the numbers. So at the moment we have a government lockdown, which has basically confined me to my house within 5 kilometers, which is just insane. It's crazy. Now I'm anticipating worst case scenario that this lockdown in its current form is going to go to November. I think that's probably the worst case scenario. It's probably going to be better than that, to be honest. But that's what I've earmarked, just as kind of a guide to guide conservatively. So if the business can get back to normal following this, I should have about 8 months of proper earnings. So I believe that this will roughly be about 100 grand in 8 months, just conservatively based on what the business has done in the past. So I'm guiding quite conservatively because, you know, things take time to ramp up after one of these extreme lockdowns. So that leaves us with about 75 grand that I would have to gain in my net worth to see us cross that millionaire line. So how are we going to do that? The job's not doing it, so the only other option that we really have is through asset appreciation. So there's a few different ways you can do this. In my case, I invest quite heavily in real estate and stocks. They're kind of my two main things. Some people will invest in crypto, some people do EFTs, I need some more EFTs, but some people will do NFTs. You know, there's a lot of different ways that you can make money and generate a return from your assets. But my two main ones are real estate and stocks. So what we need to see, based on my current property portfolio and the amount of property that I hold, it's roughly about, I think, $1.7 to $1.8 million worth of property. We'll actually be buying another one towards the end of the year. But what we would need to see is a further increase on average of about 4.5%. So if we see property go up another 4.5% in the next 8 months, which is possible, kind of based on the trend, then we'll see that increase another $75,000, which if I earn all that money, that 100 grand, that's going to push us to that $1 million line. So assets, very important. So it's definitely possible. We'll just see how that plays out. You know, lending conditions are remaining quite loose. Interest rates are going to stay low, especially with the lockdowns. We'll probably see more deflation rather than inflation. So the Reserve Bank of Australia will be less likely to be raising interest rates anytime soon. So on the stock side, this could easily make or break us in this time frame. The stock portfolio at the moment is worth around 120 grand or so. My largest holding of that is a Tattooed Chef, and I own about 3,000 something shares in there. It's around 70 grand's worth at the moment. So it's quite heavy in terms of that portfolio. It's definitely not recommended for everyone. I personally believe if you have really high conviction buys, then you should be going towards them rather than diversifying too much if you have a deep understanding of how the companies make their money. Of course, you know, if you're not really sure how they make their money, then maybe just like an ETF where you're investing in the top 200 companies or top 500 companies. But, you know, this is a really high conviction stock, great revenue growth and all that. You know, I've made a few videos about the Tattooed Chef. So it is quite a high conviction stock. And, you know, it makes up quite a large portion of my portfolio currently, but I'd rather it be there than in less conviction buys. So as we've seen, this stock can swing quite a lot. If the right moves happen in the next 8 months, then I'll make it on Tattooed Chef alone. You know, there is the potential for this stock to double and go up 100% in the next 8 months. We don't know. I personally don't believe that's going to happen, but I do believe we'll see an increase in the stock price. I'd have to see my entire stock portfolio go up about 62% in 8 months, which I believe is unrealistic. I believe that's very unlikely based on the past performance. The past performance of my stock portfolio has been about 30 to 40% year over year. So, hey, it might get close, but we just don't know at this point. So, conservatively, I just have to say that the stock portfolio will stay level and just not factor that in at all. But, you know, it's definitely possible if Tattooed Chef or Coinbase, which I'm still adding to, continues to go on a tear. So we'll see about that. So is this goal possible to achieve? It's definitely possible. So I think it'll be really interesting to revisit this topic in a year's time and see whereabouts my net worth lines up. As you start to generate more returns on your assets and you get hold of more assets, it gets easier and easier to make more money. Going from 0 to $1 million is very difficult, and it's something that not a lot of people can do, but getting from 1 million to 2 million is significantly easier in a lot of respects. You know, it's only 100% increase compared from going from like 1,000 to $1 million. That's a lot more percent increase. So I think it's definitely possible, but the reason that I'm making this video is because I want to talk about the importance of assets. This would not be possible unless I was holding assets. You know, they've contributed a lot to the growth of my net worth. There's only so much you can earn, and the problem with earned income is it's taxed so heavy. I mean, in the top bracket, it's like 47%. So after you're earning 180 grand a year, you know, the government is just taking so much of that, which is just insane. I believe. I think the tax rates in Australia on the top end are way too high. You know, it really affects people that work incredibly hard and provide a lot of value to society. But, you know, I don't want to get too political about that. The point of this is that, you know, you need to be holding assets because they're just not taxed the same. So that way it allows you to keep more of what you earn by making smart decisions and good investments. So recently I made a video about how I made $500,000 in the last financial year. Now, about half of that was my earned income, but the other half of that was asset appreciation. And of course, it's been an absolutely insane year for property and stocks. We know that, so it's probably not going to happen every year, but it just highlights the importance of holding assets and what that can do for your net worth. So thank you guys so much for watching. It'd be really interesting to check out this video in a year's time and see whether we get to that $1 million mark or whether it is after. You know, there's so much that can happen in 12 months. It might be a booming economy, might be in the toilet, who knows. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps to get these videos out to more people. My name is Seeney. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you later.